Well, it's another hot ass day in Florida, and I just pulled up to Harbor Town. Tom's working on his new car. New daily? Head's looking extra bald today. It's good.
Filmed the new episode of Lockup last night.
Yeah?
Yeah, so, you know.
Were you what do they call those, stand-ins?
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
Nice. Sick. Well, I'm gonna go inside. Is the door unlocked?
No, it's open.
Cool. Feels good in here. All right. It's about to go down. All right, day 2, starting and plugging away at this thing. Dennis is trying to hide as much of this wiring as possible. He pulled the fan wire through the front frame rail, and it's going to look way cleaner now than just having that little blue wire hanging down. I'm throwing in these axles. I have the Villains 350Z axle stubs. You can kind of see it in there. And I've had the axles out just in case we had to push this thing around because it has a welded diff. It'll make our lives easier, but since it's pretty much stationary, we figured why not throw those in. I'm missing 4 axle bolts, which sucks, but not that big of a deal. I wanted to talk a little bit about the Holley EFI ECU that I got from Holley. It comes with the harness, as you can see there, and it's just making life so easy and simple. They have a power harness to go straight back to the battery for power, and then ECU just sits right there. And I was actually watching some videos on YouTube just to get better insight on how it works and kind of how it was developed. And it's really neat. You should check out their YouTube channel. I'll actually link it in the description below. But lots of tutorial videos in case you want to pick some of the stuff up. I know that I've bought a lot of products from brands in the past, and you get it and you think you love it, but you have no idea how it works or what you need to do to make it work. And Holley provides all of that on their YouTube channel, and it's really making my life and Dennis's life a lot easier. So shout out to Holley Performance. Once the engine's put together, it's over there in the corner. Hopefully we'll get that thing together today, and once we start plugging everything in, it should go fairly quick. We've been trying to figure out a place to mount the reservoirs for the pedal assembly. We've decided on in the engine bay, so I made this plate here that basically covers where the, I'm trying to give you guys a better angle here. Made a plate to go over where the stock brake booster goes. Tried to round the corners and make it look neat. Still a little bit of trimming to do on this right side, but it should look all right. And I can't show you when I'm holding the camera, but I'll try and do this. There we go, right there. Maybe it's just gonna fall. If you put these together like this, if that plate was there, you can see that these are gonna mount nice and neat right about there, with plenty of room for the hood to close. All right, well, after a couple different attempts, we've got our plate with our reservoirs on it. Try and turn down this exposure. Okay, so now if you look here, there's a hole started. Now there's gonna be a hole here, and a hole there. And that's so the line can come off the bottom of the reservoir, go through, and then go to the pedals. So while I'm doing that, Dennis is over here, over yonder, my fucking awesome focusing camera. I'm sure you guys hate hearing me bitch about that. But I've got the Holley Sniper manifold, the EFI. It's a sheet metal manifold with like a mid-size plenum. That's what you call this, right? It's like mid-size. It's not high-rise, but so he's putting the injectors on the fuel rails and putting those on. The injectors that I run, if you are curious behind that box, the Excel Performance Fuel Injector, I think it's a 58 pound, 53 pound injector. Now we're cutting it pretty close with these running ethanol fuel, but it should work. Fingers crossed. If not, I'll have to call our boys back up at Holley and get something different. So yeah, while he's doing that, I mean, pretty much everything on my car is brand new, so the installation is going pretty fast now that we're going. Thanks to Holley. I can't thank them enough. I've probably said that a million times, but they've really just helped make this build so easy, user-friendly, and it really looks good. So I can't wait to put that dash in right there. That's just going to sit over there underneath the stock dash. Switch panel there. Very excited. Thank you, Holley. Now to show you guys what it looks like. Those holes that I drilled will have rubber grommets on them so they don't chafe the line. But that's our plate, and that's what it looks like. Pretty excited about it. These will come out the back here. They'll go through the firewall and to the pedals. Let's come back here, stand back so you guys can look at it. I almost ran out of room down here, but it ended up working almost perfect. So super stoked on that. Dennis is making some spacers right now for the fuel injector brackets. The fuel injectors that I bought came with brackets for the factory fuel rail. Now my fuel rail, you guys are actually gonna be able to see it right here. All right. So if you look, the fuel rail bracket sits about almost an inch off the intake. So he's gonna make a spacer that sits in there, and then we'll run a bolt through. The intake is pretty much completed, minus some things that have to go on once it's on the engine. But the Holley EFI fuel rails, the crossover, injectors are in, 95mm Holley EFI throttle body, the Sniper EFI intake manifold. This shit is going to look and sound so good. I cannot wait. A big thanks to Dennis for helping me out. Dennis, thank you. I've been getting some comments about the BMW and when I'm going to go drifting in it and film stuff in that. Now, the BMW, like I said, the reason I got it for so cheap, which we got it for $500, was because the subframe was peeling away from the chassis. So that has to be fixed first. Now, any of the other mods, you know, that I might be doing that I'm not telling you about, now those things don't really matter. If the subframe was okay, then I could go drive it and, you know, slide it around or whatever. But because we don't have that fixed yet, I can't drive it. Now, I mean, I could drive around the block, but I can't drive it how you guys would want me to drive it. So Tom's been really busy, and that's kind of like, obviously he's going to be the one that helps me out with that and welds it up. I thought about trying to get somebody else to do it just to not put any more work on his plate, because I kind of feel bad. He's a very busy guy. So if anybody out there knows how to weld or has done this job before and lives close to me, let's make a video. Let's fucking pull the subframe out and fix it. I also thought about maybe when I pull the subframe to weld up that torn chassis area to maybe do the solid subframe bushings. Thought about that. Don't know yet. When I pull the subframe, I'll determine that depending on how bad or how good the subframe bushings are. If they seem like they're in decent shape, then I'll leave them. If they're shot, I'll pull them. So that's what's holding back the missile videos and stuff that you guys have been wanting to see. And trust me, I can't wait to drive any car, whether it be the BMW or the S14. I'm excited about working on both of them. Something about getting out of the shop has just made me so much more excited to like work on the cars and motivated to like just do anything with cars. I think just being at the shop all the time is an unmotivator for sure. So I don't know. Either way, can't wait to drive either car. Mods for the BMW coming this week. Today's Sunday, so probably middle of the week the mods on the BMW will start, and then I will slowly still be plugging away at the S14. Well, I made it back to the house. Pretty successful day at the shop, if I do say so myself. Progress. We're kind of at a standstill right now. I've got to pick up a few small things, oil pan gasket, some hardware for the other fuel rail for the brackets, because we had to make these spacer things. So we need longer hardware now. So I got to get that at Ace. Oil pan gasket, power steering pump, alternator, tensioner, belts, fluids, just like the normal stuff. And It's really not that much stuff, but it does add up. So I'm just waiting to get that stuff and then throw this bitch together and throw it in the car. It was supposed to be in the car today. Unfortunately, that didn't happen, but we still got a lot done and I'm completely satisfied. So, thank you so much for watching today's video. I appreciate it. And don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and turn the notification button on. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.